Hi, hello. This is the LaSala Show, episode 95. My guest today, Austin Hoffpauir. Austin, how say you?
What's up, man? 95 episodes? You've already done that many?
Yeah, I've been doing them since 2009, back when podcasts were what's a podcast, but yeah, almost to 100 solo. So it's I also only have like 100 listeners, so there's that.
What's going to be the big 100th episode? What's the blowout?
I don't know, maybe a solo just by myself,
Oh, shit. Okay.
looking at the camera and being like, does anyone like me? Why am I still doing this? That kind of thing. How are you doing, man? Like, okay, so we've been in like two official bands together, maybe like three or four unofficial, but we've been in bands together. We've been through the trials and tribulations of gigging, writing, rehearsing, all that shit. What is your biggest takeaway from being a professional musician?
I think professional is a generous term.
Well, I
But
mean, okay, have you ever been paid to play music?
okay, yeah. I've been paid to play music. Absolutely. Never much, but yeah, I've been paid. um, what's my biggest takeaway from it? I think consistency. That's and I don't think I learned that till later on. Like sticking with a practice routine. You know, we're practicing Tuesdays and Thursdays at 6 p.m. and showing up on those days, and because you're showing up for other people, you know, not just for yourself. It's a team thing, and I think that's the biggest thing. I think the people that can do that consistently and put in time and put in work doing that get a lot further a lot faster.
Yeah, there's always I mean, creative people are inherently a little crazy, you know?
True. That's very
And
true.
so balancing the dynamics of a group, I mean, balancing the dynamics of just a couple, you and your partner, that's crazy enough. But if you have four, five motherfuckers that you're all trying to communicate and set times with, it's amazing bands even are a thing.
It's true. That's true. And yeah, getting everybody to show up at the same time and then dealing with the personalities around that. It's tough. It's tough. But I don't think it was ever hard, you
Right.
know.
Because eventually everybody who's in the group, it will become very clear who wants to be in that group. It's like,
Yeah.
all right, who's cutting practice the most? Who's showing up a little late? Like who's all in? Who's bringing all their gear? Like
Yeah.
it starts to become very apparent. Like, all right, this person's in it for the chicks. I've been guilty of that. I'll give myself a ding. Who's in it for the money? I've been guilty of that. Who's in it just for the local scene clout? I've been in it for that. And who really actually makes their band worse? I'll give that a half because publicity wise, yes, but playing wise, it kind of equaled out. But also, it was a woke culture even back then. So I
Yeah.
I put up this suit and jacket look for you because it looks like the most fitting profile for what you have become since our heinous days back. in our other bands.
Oh, that's sweet of you.
I mean, you're a professional now. Playing music is a side quest for you at this point. Yes.
It is. It's as everyone knows, it's a if you don't use it, you lose it type of thing, right? And there's always that, always kind of a drive to create and have that outlet. Um, yeah, and it used to be a lot more. I don't want to say ego driven. Um, but yeah, you want to tell everybody about your shows. You want everybody to come to your shows and watch your shows. When now you know I might tell two, three, four people, five people, which is I think probably makes me a little bit worse as a bandmate. Um, but I just want to play music. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, artists are notorious for being the worst promoters. And that's why
That's true.
people have managers. It's like you don't want to be the guy out there or girl out there just shamelessly promoting, like, hey, come see me tonight. Like, it sounds real desperate. But back in your 20s, it was everything. Like, oh, this Friday night at Lafayette, Louisiana's Artmosphere, everyone's gonna be there. So you better be there. Also, it's $10 to get in. It's
Yeah.
like,
By the way,
yeah. Or
yeah, it was
give me and I'll get you in right away.
2012. Asking for somebody for $15 at Blue Moon was criminal,
Dude, yeah,
outrageous.
yeah. I
But
mean,
I
how
think there's
much
something to be said for the people that do go all out and put themselves all the way out there. You know what I mean? That's a gamble.
I mean, look,
You know?
our bandmate and one of my good friends, two of my good friends, they went out and did the whole tour thing. And by all accounts, it was successful. I don't know the money or whatever it was, but being in a van and driving up the East Coast and then coming back down the Midwest and then landing back in Texas and coming back around to Louisiana over the span of a month, that sounds like the coolest thing in the world if I was 19 or 20
Absolutely.
or 22, 23, in my
Yeah,
20s.
early 20s at the latest.
Yes. Right now, that sounds like
Yeah, it sounds
prison,
awful.
especially like in the months of June when it's hot everywhere, brother.
Yeah, dude, and I want to go to sleep at 9:30, and I don't.
And the show starts at
Yeah,
11:30, and there's like 8 people there.
it sounds like a nightmare now.
But back then, sign me up. I mean,
Hell yeah.
like they could have told you some crazy amount of money that you're making right now, but like half of it, and you would have been like, "Oh yeah, sign me up for 10 years." I'll
Uh,
just,
yeah, let me drop everything. Absolutely.
dude, we would have totally done that. Fuck.
I used to get so excited about there was one of those Mardi Gras that we played, I don't know, five or six shows in a span of like 4 days.
Yeah.
They were all in town, and it was so much fun. I had so much fun grabbing my shit, packing it up, and going to the next one, and just having them stacked up. I mean, that was a blast.
Well,
And
I
I didn't
always,
sleep, and
I always try to, not always. That's the stupidest term to. I always look back. I was about to say I always tell people, but I always look back on those days and really feel like, yo, like we really had something back then. Like, oh my God, like when we played a place, like you could feel the floor stomping. And I just want you to back me on that. Like, I'm not a crazy person. Like, we used to actually rock the fucking party.
I absolutely completely agree with that. In the video, watching old videos is what kind of like I guess solidifies that for me because it's really easy to think about those old memories and be like, oh yeah, it was fucking awesome. And then in reality, there were five people there
Right,
and we're
right,
just
right.
having a good time, you know?
This was not that. This was not
No,
that.
no, there were, and which was again crazy. We played Atmosphere, what, probably twice a month
Yep. We
for,
were like a residency.
yeah, pretty much for 2 years straight or something like that.
And every time we played, it was like you couldn't get to the bathroom. It was like
Yeah.
hard to move around in there. And now it's just like there's like 15 people there, maybe, you know. And
Well,
I'm
I
not
think
on
it's different
harvester.
now too.
Yeah. Do you think COVID was the main thing, or is that just like a fucking cop out?
I don't know.
And for live music in general.
I think it was going that way regardless. I think that just kind of pushed it over the line much faster. Um, I I think younger generation was going to end up there regardless. You know.
Well, we have a show coming up July 17th at the Blue Moon in Lafayette, Louisiana. There's like three other bands. So it's gonna be, I mean, there are gonna be people there. That's all I can promise.
Well, what, four bands totals up to probably 15 people, 20 people. So
So between the bands that are playing and, you know, the people that are mixing sound and serving drinks, it'll be a scene, man. So
are
show up.
we at least playing in the middle to where everybody has to stick around?
Yeah. So
That's
we're actually recording tomorrow. This is a little inside baseball for y'all. We're in a band called Passenger 11. How do you feel about the name of the band?
oh, yeah,
I
you know,
understand.
take it or leave it.
I understand. You joined after the name was already settled. What are some
Correct.
names that you would have come up with?
Oh, that's a tough question
All right.
because I don't even know because it would be stupid, you know.
Exactly. So yeah, we came up with about 10. I had about five of them, and Passenger 11 was the one that stuck. And one time after an open mic at Atmosphere, ironically, it was just me and Greg, the drummer, and we were just up there playing by ourselves, and we went by the name Passenger 11. And the very next day, I went to Champagne's, which is a grocery store here in Lafayette, Louisiana. And while I was going into Champagne's, somebody yelled out, "Hey, Passenger 11." And he looked at me and I looked at him and he was like, "Yeah, good shit, man." And so that's when I knew, all right, it has to be Passenger 11. And then we looked up the whole meaning of it, that there was a guy that survived a plane crash. Or no, there were two separate guys
Yeah,
that both were sitting in seat 11A or whatever, and they were referred to as passenger 11. So that just made it even more of a let's just do it. So
so
fuck it.
y'all didn't know that backstory before you
No,
picked that name. That's pretty crazy.
I only found that out because I was looking up the domain name to make sure that no other
Oh
band
yeah,
had it.
okay.
And there was a band that had passenger 11, but it was with the numerical. And so passenger 11 was still available. So here we are,
Here
passenger
we are.
11. This is your guitar player, Austin Hoffpauir. Let's get to some hard hitting questions that are ridiculous, but also that I would like to know the answers to.
Wait on me.
When you order um, food at a restaurant, let's say Korean, Italian, do you try to pronounce what's on the menu?
Ooh, man. Well, Italian's easier than most. Italian or Mexican food. No, Korean or Chinese, no. That's why they put the numbers on the side.
I'll have the 12, please.
Yeah, give me a number 12.
Yeah, it's always a little pretentious, especially if you get it wrong. Like if you nail it, like if you're in the car before you go in and you're like looking
Yeah,
at the menu
right.
and you're like, I'll have the pasta primavera,
Yeah, with the
hey.
dialect and everything.
Right.
No, or you can just hit the
Right, you
point.
just you show it to the
Yeah, that one.
or you sign it. You're just like, I'm not even deaf, but I know sign language and um you fly a lot, which is crazy to me because back in our heyday, you see, you would be on a flight list for sure. Like your your hair. I mean, you have visible tattoos. You look like you could be an undercover cop. Yes or yes?
Undercover cop. I've never gotten that one, but yeah, sure.
I mean, it looks like you've dealt with both sides of the law.
Oh, you're talking about now? Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Probably so. I could slide in somewhere.
So, what are your flight preferences? Do you get all these flights on company time? Do you upgrade? What's your deal?
Um, Man, most of the time that I'm flying for work. A lot of conferences, um, like vendor deals, stuff like that. So it's all work related, work covered stuff. Um, very little of it. I don't want to say very little of it. Most of the time, we mix in a vacation in there with it. But it's mostly business related, you know. The weird thing when I moved back to Louisiana and I was flying back and forth to Dallas, I'd work remote and then I'd fly into Dallas for, 1 week out of every month. And somewhere in there, I got it in my head that, okay, statistically, I'm less likely to get in a plane crash than in a car, right? But I'm flying more, so that number is changing.
Wow.
And I developed like flight anxiety through that. And it's it's the most bizarre thing. I was flying to New York at the beginning of 2025, and it was kind of a culmination of things. I didn't sleep well. I think I slept 3 or 4 hours. We were leaving super early, and I had like a full blown panic attack, like the first panic attack I've ever had. And I was just seconds away from saying, I'm not getting on this plane. Like, I'm not going. And I stopped at a gas station on the way to the airport and I picked up some Tylenol PM and I just took Tylenol PM, got on the plane and stacked out for a couple hours. And then had a miserable day, trying to navigate God, Charleston Airport, maybe. Yeah, Charleston Airport, just loaded to the gills on Tylenol PM. And
Oh,
so, and it doesn't happen sometimes. But then it's the anxiety of, is it going to happen this time?
right.
It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing.
Well,
So
just
that's a
don't
weird.
watch don't watch the first episode of Lost on a
But
flight.
that doesn't bother me. Plane crash movies don't bother. None of that bothers me.
Yeah.
It's so bizarre.
And also what I've heard from just comedians on their podcasts, I mean, the amount of time they spend on planes. I mean, it's insane.
Yeah,
And what
right.
they equate it to is just like what narcissism you have to think that your plane is going to go down. You know,
Right. Right. It's a whole different, like, the psychology behind it has to be
and then
insane.
they skip straight to, well, who else is on this plane? Like if this plane goes down, is Eddie Murphy on this plane? Like is he gonna like bump me on the list of names of people that died on this plane? Like I'm a nobody
Am I
compared to
not
Eddie
going to be the
Murphy.
headline?
Austin Hoffpauir was also on this plane with Eddie
Yeah,
Murphy.
by the way,
Guitars from Machete and
yeah,
Funky
washed out
Passenger,
musician.
Passenger 11. He was ironically not flying. He was passenger 12.
That's
Just
why. That's why we're in this position.
dude, yeah. I mean, I get it. It's What's the worst recent though where you've had to deal with a passenger like face to face? Because I feel like that's even more scary than the plane going down.
Man, that surprisingly, I haven't really seen anything happen. And I really would have thought, at some point I'm going to see somebody freak out.
You had your phone ready and everything.
Oh, absolutely. I would have. Absolutely. Um, Man, I think it might have been, it was when I was going to the Keys. They had some kind of medical emergency. I think a girl had taken some Xanax and like passed out.
Good for
It was
him.
a pretty big deal midair. They were like kind of freaking out.
Oh, bad times, bad times.
Yeah, bad times. Yeah, but nothing too crazy, man. Nothing too crazy. I had one of those situations, like the people that get up right when the plane lands and
Yeah.
they run to the front. So when I was flying to the Keys, it was that same trip. I had a layover, and my plane was late, of course. So I'm gonna miss this layover. I'm gonna miss my flight to get down to the Keys. So I get up and like I start moving quick, and this guy in first class like puts his hand in front of me and like pushes me back. And he's like, "Whoa, man! Like, hey, don't fucking touch me." It's like I have a fucking layover. Like, I'm gonna miss my flight. I need to go. It's like we all have a flight, man. It's like okay,
Wow,
what
you
the fuck
pulled
ever,
the
dude.
we all have a flight.
Oh, dude. Yeah, I made my flight, but like I was the second to last person to get on, I think. So yeah, that was I dude, a lot of weird like that's probably the weirdest thing. Okay, honeycomb tattoo.
I was about to say, you
Oh,
work in a corporate environment. You have some pretty gnarly ass tattoos.
um, well, on airplanes, I get a lot of unsolicited touching.
Wow.
Dude, walking down the aisle, like to get to my seat, I've had people grab my arm. Oh my God, that's so cool. Like, okay, cool. Don't fucking touch me.
Wow.
Yeah, that's more than you would think.
I mean,
More than you would think.
it looks like it has a texture. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of want to touch it too.
Well, that's fine if you say, hey, I'm going to touch your arm, not just like grab my arm and say, oh, yeah, look at that.
No, next time on site, I'm touching your arm.
Well, that's
Well, I
fine.
guess
I know
that's a
it's
fair
cool.
warning.
That's cool. That's cool.
No, I'm gonna
Um,
do it on stage.
that's fine too. What,
All
dude?
right.
What? I
Well,
know
never
it's
mind.
fine.
Now I'm
Yeah,
not gonna do it. It's lost its
I
luster.
just have to say it's okay. It's lost its appeal. No, I mean, from a work standpoint, it hasn't really. Eh, I wouldn't say it's really affected anything, but there's probably, the client base that I have to deal with is, generally pretty wealthy people, generally older people that aren't as okay with tattoos. So there's some extra hurdles that I got to overcome initially, but it's never been a thing really.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like your diction, your presentation, everything about you
Right.
can compensate for, hey, I got some pretty cool tattoos. What are you gonna do?
Yeah. Yeah. I had some fun.
Also,
Assuming
I want to try to find a picture of us back in the day because we both had our long hair phases,
we
and now
did.
I'm basically a skinhead. What do you think about that, by the way?
It's bound to happen at some point, man.
I took the early road. I realized that I was going bald, so I hit it on the head, and this is how people have to see me from now on. You look like your father now.
Well, and that's my dad has always told me like, oh yeah, I started balding when I was 26, 27. And
Right.
he's not bald. It's thin on the back and he's got kind of a receding hairline.
Yeah.
Um,
It looks like a great man. Like he could star in a Netflix show
Oh,
where
he
he's
still
like
got it, dude.
a
That
dad.
mustache still rocking, dude. He
Yeah.
still got it. Yeah, but yeah, I look like my dad the
I mean,
older I
how
get.
do you miss the long hair? Like that was like a whole like you that was sort of your personality, not like Blake Anderson from Workaholics, but you kind of had that long hair where it was just like, oh, here comes Austin.
Yeah, yeah. And I think I got more shit from that from people with than I did with tattoos. I'm pretty sure.
Ah,
Because there's a young, skinny white guy with long hair. I looked like a stoner, so you
right.
know, and I was. So I guess they weren't in the wrong, really.
Yeah,
But
you really played it up. You played it up like you were in casting calls that we didn't
right,
know about. You were supposed to be on Workaholics. They
just how
didn't
it
like
worked
you.
out, man. It just how it worked out.
All right, so you're old now. Give me your skincare routine. I mean, do you fall asleep with eye masks on? Do you have like some nail treatments? What's going on with you?
I don't have a skincare routine, but I probably should. I'm getting old and I spend a lot of time in the sun. Um,
So
no, dude, I
you're
just
a
have
fisherman.
yeah, fish,
You don't
some
put
golf from
sunscreen
time to
on before
time.
that?
I love being outside.
God damn it. You are see, we're too white to not wear sunscreen to golfing and fishing and
Yeah.
even outdoor gigs, you know?
Well, that's the real arrogance of it. I very rarely wear sunscreen unless I'm at the beach,
Okay.
and I should. I'm gonna get skin cancer. It's
Yeah.
gonna happen, but I just
There,
can't. I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna get sunburned. I'm
yeah.
not gonna. It's not gonna happen. And then I end up sunburned, and then I'm miserable for a week, and then that whole song and dance.
Dude, I don't give a fuck what anybody says about uh alcohol or weed hangover. A sun hangover that will rock you. I don't care how much water you drink, whatever procedure you're whatever, like, oh, just have a little bit more booze. Like, no, you can't have a little bit more sun and start feeling better. Like, that is no joke, brother. Like, you're laid up.
Yeah, yeah, that shit sucks.
Have you noticed anything else because you're almost 40 or you are 40? Um, Anything you want to warn the kiddies about? Any of our younger audience that's listening that's coming upon those years?
I'm 37. Thank you very much.
Almost
So
40, almost 40. I mean, round
yeah,
it.
let's don't rub it in. Um, man, that's a tough question because there's a long list.
Have you become a hardcore Republican yet? I heard that's something.
No,
All right, good.
no, no. That's an interesting
I've,
pipeline to
have
see
you
people
seen
go
that
through.
though? Have you seen that?
Yeah, absolutely. There's that.
Some of your best friends from almost all your life, and then all of a sudden you're like, wait, you don't wait, really? And then you're like, wow, okay, well, I guess I didn't know you. Isn't
And
that sad?
it's interesting when you get older and everybody has families and they have kids, so you only see people, once every 6 months, and you do see them, and it's like, what the fuck happened?
Yeah.
It's only been 6 months. What changed? You know what I mean?
How much of that do you attribute to living in the same region? When I say region, I say Lafayette, Louisiana, and the surrounding area for your entire life. And maybe you've traveled, places here and there, but there are some people that have never been out of Louisiana, and they've
Oh
lived
yeah,
their whole life here.
right.
We
Yeah,
drive amongst them.
I think without having contact of an actual melting pot type scenario, You know what I mean? Um, it's easier to fall into that. And I say fall into that. It's easier to lean one way or the other and kind of fall into the habits of the region as opposed to developing your own sense of what it is.
Yeah. And I mean, I feel like you have been in enough different cities, regions, in basic scenarios to where you understand how things operate outside of the tiny ass little city you were born in. Um, does that infuriate you more whenever you're in this small town, which does have its advantages? Don't get me wrong, but as much shit as we talk about where we're from, doesn't everybody do that? And I guess this is like a three-part question. Are you happy here?
I think I think that happens everywhere, but it's just you get in a smaller town like this and it's just a more concentrated pocket of it, right? So you find just a huge dense population of Republicans where if you went, Houston or something like that, they're still there. They're just spread out more. So you don't have that constant interaction with one particular demographic or the other. Because I don't think about that a whole lot as far as what somebody's political party is. Mine, I don't really, I don't really listen to other people's or pay attention to that. It's more of what I'm currently pissed off at the government about, you know. And what was the last part?
Are you happy in Lafayette?
Oh yeah, Lafayette's great, man. Lafayette's great. Um, I loved living in Dallas, but there's something about Lafayette. The only lack would be music anywhere near, within a 2 hour radius, 2.5 hour radius, because New Orleans isn't the same as it used to be music wise. Um, just stuff like that. Just more things going on where you can just go find something to do. You know, Dallas, there was always something to do, whether you wanted to spend money or not, right? Which
Yeah,
is not, it's a little bit slimmer pickings in Lafayette.
yeah. And also the good thing about Lafayette, you're on I-10. You can get pretty much to New
Mhm.
Orleans, to Houston, you know, you'll find yourself some fun if there's a touring comedian or band around.
Right.
It's not too far away. And Lafayette is more of a good place to like raise a family, you know, go to the fucking whatever farmers market on a Saturday morning, that kind of thing. They have that going on.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
all right, we have a few minutes left, and I want you to let's see, summarize your feelings on AI and what happens when we die.
AI and what happens when we die. Can I roll data centers into that?
Yes, it all mixes in.
It all mixes in. I think that I think that AI, the usage of AI and everything behind the curtain with that, involving data centers and everything like that is just it's it's infuriating. That's what currently gets me worked up. Um, and you watch videos of these small city council meetings where they're planning to put a data center and there's no telling how much money got pumped in where by these, Meta or um, Elon Musk, whoever's building it, what palms they grease to be able to even have that conversation. And the vote goes through with little to no awareness. Then there's little oversight to no oversight on EPA regulations, how it's going to affect the area. It That's infuriating, and I think that it's it. I'm interested to see where it goes. You know what I mean? And it's crazy because I've never been one to go and really protest something or something like that. But like flock cameras. that shit drives me nuts. That another thing that gets me instantly pissed off. And it's something that if the next time I see something with the Lafayette city government coming up, if they're voting on renewing a flock camera contract or something like that, I will 1000% be there.
I just took off work
1000%.
to go vote just for that fucking.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Um,
Well, remind me because I'll go do it as well because I don't
hell yeah.
vote.
Uh, yeah, that I think that shit's crazy. I think it's crazy. And people that rely on it, it can be useful. I'm not saying that it's not, but to a point, right? To a point. And I think it's going to do some I don't want to say dark. I think there's going to be some massive changes in the landscape of, the working world and, day to day that we might not be too fond of.
Yeah. So, okay. AI is coming for our lives
Hmm.
in a minute. Tell me what the hell is going to happen when we take our last breath. Where do we go?
Oh my God. That's a hard question. It's a
That's
hard question.
save it for last.
Well,
And I'll cut you off, bitch.
I mean, I guess it's what I would like to happen, right? Because I don't, nobody
Let's go that
knows,
angle.
right? Nobody knows what's going to happen. Um, God, I would like to think that I get to do it all again, just slightly differently.
Like,
You know what I mean? The same people, the same cast and characters, just get to do it a little bit differently. That's what I would. That's what I would enjoy the most, I think, or that's what I would hope that it's like.
maybe you're already doing that.
Maybe I am. Maybe I am, and maybe me having this conversation and saying that part out loud has completely, yeah, ring the bell, dude.
We're time travelers, brother.
That's it.
Well,
Ashton
it does
Kutcher
this
butterfly
before.
effect.
We're good. We're good. I'll see you tomorrow. We're recording. Everybody go check out Passenger 11 on Instagram. We'll be back. I love you, brother. And until next time, don't
All
die.
right, man. Thanks for having me.